time, and you can tell us all your favorite word that you would say if you know, with the earmuffs filter on. What's the word? Go ahead. What's the word? Just tell me. I swear I'm not recording.
Well, this is the uncensored. This is Memphis Uncensored, so it'd probably be like cunt.
You motherfucker!
you
hey, Mike, I might have to
a 90-second pregnant pause. Someone's gonna jump in and help out Gabe. I mean, we don't use that word as good as our British and especially our Australian friends.
I was gonna say you got to do it with the accent.
Yeah.
You wee cunts out there.
No, Americans.
You got to hit it with a Scottish accent.
Yeah, we use fuck real well, but those Brits and those Scots and those Aussies, they use cunt like a pro.
The Jim Jeffries delivery on the stand-up is just that's the one right there. Jordan, what's your earmuffs word? Come on. We're getting to know each other here.
I can use the F word in pretty much any context. So, noun, verb, adjective, adverb.
He's watching Syracuse basketball right now, so we'll hear it in a second.
There's a lot of them in my head at this particular moment, considering we're down 13. So they're at about a 10-0 run against us right now, so it's getting out of hand.
J Mike, what's your potty mouth word? I know you got one.
Yes, it is fourth child.
Yeah.
So I basically I have to have my wife do that before I say anything regarding the number 4 or children. So I'm just trying to. We're at 3. We're good, and she would really like for me to say that more, but pumping the brakes there.
Keep it prime, baby. Tell her 3's a prime number. We're in our prime. Don't tell her about the number 5, but tell her that 3 is a prime number. That's a math joke, J Mike.
Yeah, and I majored in psychology. Math just kind of,
Well, let's just announce that we're live.
Yeah,
buddy. Guys, you said your earmuff words live. I can't believe you. Why would you ever say that word? Don't ever utter that word on the open bar. We don't have an open language policy. You can't just say whatever you want.
That's actually
is that what we do?
We actually can say whatever.
Is that okay? There is no.
Oh, I thought that E meant everyone. Everyone can listen.
Everyone. Yeah. It's even you.
Even you.
We include everyone here. We're so extra live though. It's 9:30 Eastern on a Tuesday ish. I don't know. I'm sick of this schedule, man. I don't want to. J Mike, I don't care. I don't care about a schedule. People tell us to be here at 9:30 Eastern sharp, be on the show for an hour. You know what? Why, J Mike? Tell me that. Riddle me this.
I mean, we're here for you guys. Everyone in the chat, everyone listening to this in podcast form, we're here for you. And you know what? This 2019 is going to be the year of anarchy here in the open bar. Forget rules. Forget what you thought you knew. This is like the Matrix, except we're starting it with the C word every time now. So we're just going to play this back over. Memphis just dropping. You know what? This is my earmuffs.
That might be our drop now.
That's your intro song. It's just Memphis.
I'll get my boy G from the Aussie guys to come by, and he could just say it on a continuous loop for you.
There you go.
With that proper Australian accent.
But I can't help but notice here we are in the open bar, and obviously we haven't even introduced our guests yet, but everyone seems to be rocking a Tuesday trucker hat, except
we're not even going to introduce him. We're not even going to introduce him. We're just
sorry. I got my necklace on instead.
Someone sells.
Do you even have two on? Do you even have two?
No, just one. Just one.
Gets all hoity-toity, huh? How's the air up there?
It's pretty cold. It's pretty cold.
Almost dropped my headphones. Sorry.
Speaking of trucker hat Tuesdays, J Mike, I'm gonna take that opportunity to shout out my brother. I was digging around and I was looking for hats, and not extra on the hat thing because of the long hair, because I gotta poke the old bun out.
Work. Yeah, it's work for
man.
you to do it.
bun. Yeah, it's work. It was hard. Y'all saw me like off air, like just like trying to figure out like where the clinks are and trying to, yeah, no thanks. But I did it. For Trucker Hat Tuesday for one. For two, my brother made this hat and I'm going to his bachelor party this weekend. So shout out to my brother, the third best gearing of all time behind myself and my wife, of course. So that's my trucker hat introduction. Guys, you got anything interesting about yours? No? Okay.
Right, no, well,
Jerry, how about you? What's your trucker hat? Welcome to the open bar, Jerry.
Hi. Thank you. Hi. Thank you. Now, that is the damn intro.
Is that what you wanted?
Listen, I'm good. So here's the thing about my hat. I don't ever get haircuts because I'm lazy, and I'm not going to pay for it because I'm poor. So I wear a hat to hide it. And I actually got a haircut, and Randy's been busting my balls because I haven't been wearing it. So we made it a thing today. As far as your brother's bachelor party, I hope it goes so much better than my buddy's. He woke up with nothing on but a t-shirt. The problem was, friends, that my man had one leg through the arm of one t-shirt and another leg through the head hole, and that's all he had on, and we found him like that. So hopefully he does better than that. Wow. I don't think his wife was happy. I didn't hear her response, but he had fun. It was a fun time.
Using all the incorrect orifices. A t-shirt inside and out. I won't go further.
I just don't know how you come back from using a shirt as a kilt and underwear all at once. I'm just not. I'm not sure.
You tie it like a knot on the side of your hip to keep it from falling down. It becomes like a diaper. It's a lot of work. Hey, but resourceful. He's like the Bear Grylls of bachelor parties.
I mean, he didn't like drink his own pee out of a snake, but yeah, I mean, he did good.
You don't know what he did to survive out there, man.
That's fair. No idea. That's fair.
What do you talk about when he talk about on dodgeball when he drinks his own pee? We say because it's sterile and I like the taste.
Oh my.
I don't know if I could do it. Well, yeah, you probably have to. How many days would it take? Guys, we'll get to the football later. How many days? To drink out in the wild. Yeah, out in the wild. 3 days. You 3 days without water is the rule, right?
Yeah, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food, I think, if I remember correctly.
But I would do it faster than you guys. Listen, I'm pampered, man. I'm a millennial. You think I'm lasting outside before I panic? No.
You're mixing it in your cocktails already. You're just conditioned to this.
Well, I'm not a millennial, and I grew up drinking Coors Light and Miller Lite, so I've already been drinking piss most of my whole life. So, I mean, I could start tomorrow too soon.
So it's more of a matter of question, how long can you go without drinking your own pee?
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, let's keep introducing people. The man who drinks his own piss every 3 minutes. Memphis. I always want to, J Mike. I always want to say, do y'all remember? You remember the hip hop Memphis? You remember Memphis, J Mike, with
no,
Huey,
I do not.
The pop, lock, and drop it. Remember that? Pop, lock, and drop it. The producer was Memphis. I always think of Memphis when I think of you, Memphis.
He's on that list of producers I like to forget.
Oh,
unlike this Memphis.
Right? Very well.
I think like Memphis Bleak, or like the
there you go. Yeah. He didn't make it as far as Jay-Z thought he would.
No, you can only go so far. See, at some point you have to have talent.
That's about you listening to hip hop today. That's not true.
That's cold as ice. No, I got the nickname Memphis. So my first name is Randy, obviously short for Randall, and my best friend goes, "Oh, your name is Randall, huh? You're Randall Memphis Young from now on." So I've just been Memphis ever since for about the last 15 years. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah. It's you can't give yourself a nickname, but it stuck, and here we are.
Fair. I'm not mad at it.
And for obviously, like Gabe said, with them being their first time to the bar, you may not know they are the basically dynamic duo of the Dynasty Warzone podcast, the flagship podcast of the Dynasty Football Network, correct?
That is correct. And
Okay.
Jerry is the man of the hour and the man with the power.
He builds my head. I got a big head, and he just makes it bigger.
Well,
That's Randy's job.
It's covered by that trucker hat, and Jerry is not telling you the whole story of the trucker hat. So Jerry and I have been doing a podcast together. He was a guest last summer, and right before week 1 of the 2018 season, Jerry became our permanent co-host. And Jerry, every Tuesday, 9:30 at night, I know he's not going anywhere. He's maybe going to let the dog out. My man's always got a trucker hat on, always. So you know what? For our very first trip to the open bar, we're like it's easy for me to say, hashtag Trucker Hat Tuesday. So in honor of Jerry, we've all got on our trucker hat.
He thinks I put the hat on for him, but that hat stayed on all day. That hat was always on. Old trusty. And I got a weird shaped head. That's my problem. And this one actually fits it.
It does. You look very stylish. And
always.
Oh yeah, I'm rocking a Yeti trucker hat. Just like my man Jim.
Cost him $75, like everything else from Yeti.
I don't know. Some for a few dollars.
I'm curious. I want to know more about J-Mac. J-Max? Apparently, I really want to introduce our other. We got a J-Mike and a J-Mac. Is that okay? Can I call you J-Mac now that we have a? Or is that not okay? Just let me know.
That's a gimmick.
No, that's fine. I've been called worse this week, so we're good. We're good.
Oh, wow.
So it's not good.
No, it's fine. Jordo Mac was my nickname growing up. That's my nickname. So
okay.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I totally didn't mean to introduce you at all because we were trying to leave you out of the whole trucker hat thing, but here we are. So no, I
actually got a haircut, so I'm willing to show it off. So,
slight flex, but looking good.
Thanks.
Your head would look real good on a book, like a fantasy football book.
Yeah, it would.
If you had written one of those.
I gotta look into one of those things.
Yeah.
I screwed this all up. I forgot to wear my Pat Tillman jersey.
There you go.
For Jordan. It's the only jersey that I still own. At one time, I had a couple of Colts jerseys. My brothers went to a Colts game, and they quote unquote borrowed them and never returned them. So basically, they stole them. And but the only jersey I still have is a Pat Tillman, and I know that is the avatar for Mr. Jordan's Twitter.
It is my avatar. Actually, Pat Tillman died on my 17th birthday, so I share that with him. Yeah, he's a good man. So, yeah, he should have worn the jersey. That would have been nice. Is it the Arizona State one, or is it
no? It's the Cardinals one. It was it was a gift from my pops, and I like I said, break it out maybe once a year. And I was going to wear in honor of you, and got so caught up in the trucker hats that I forgot the jersey. But I'll post a pic on Twitter at DFF.
I like it. If my daughter was a boy, she was being named Patrick in honor of Pat Tillman. So we'll see what number 2 will be a boy.
You could have pulled Pat off as a girl's name. Just throwing it out there.
Patricia. Tilly. I could have done Tilly.
He's not done yet.
Tilly,
Really? Hey.
All right, that's not bad.
He's going to catch
like
the J Mike in the number of children.
Yeah, man. Look, if he takes orphans as seriously with real life as he does with his fantasy life, then I mean he could really do something with the number of kid count there.
Yeah, I'm not adopting 16 kids, so don't worry about it.
He's not going full Phil Rivers on us.
I'm about to say I can get you jump started with 3 if you like.
You kidding.
I'm kidding. Love my cheerings. No, not 4. Stop.
J Mike, I know you're trying to slip that in subliminally.
Not gonna be able to do it.
Isn't that how we got to number 4?
Hey, that's all right. So the chat, since we're talking about slipping things in the chat, so the chat's lit tonight. Zach from the Dynasty Dummies was first. What up, Zach?
He said it didn't exist.
He put in asterisks. If there was a chat, it would be lit.
The first rule of open bars, you don't talk about. Oh, sorry, wrong show.
Yeah, I mean it's a good effort though. Brian Haar from the Trade Addicts. What's up, Brian? They had a live show last night. It was lit, and they showed a ton of love as well. Bahar was in the building. And this is for you, Memphis. He hit us with, that was an explosive start to the show, C word and all. So he was here for it.
My stomach still hurts from that.
Himself.
Well, it wasn't me. It was Jerry.
It was going to be me if you didn't say it.
I sniped him in the cuss word draft.
No. How are you going to snipe me in a swear draft?
It's a gift.
Which one was Gurley and which one was Barkley? If we had to go back there for a moment.
Oh,
well, Gurley's fallen, so he's probably bitch. He's bitch right now.
Yeah, at this point, you can say Gurley on cable TV. You could say Gurley on like a FX show. You could like Sons of Anarchy, but you can't get away with the F-bomb. We're not quite the Sopranos or something like that yet.
That's good.
This show's about to fade to black real quick.
YouTube's just gonna pull the plug like, no, we're done here.
Yeah.
David Berg is in the building. Berg says he needs counseling after the Rams loss. Any words of wisdom for Berg?
I'm a Lions fan, man. I feel your pain. I haven't experienced a Super Bowl loss, but getting my heart ripped out and stepped on, that's what we do here.
I mean, your coach is in his mid-30s and your quarterback's in year 3. You got probably plenty of good years ahead of you. Just hang tight. It's Mr. Goff is not the first young quarterback to fall victim to the hoodie. So just be cool, man.
And Cooper's coming back, man. That's your heartbeat. That's your heartbeat.
Interesting Bill Belichick stat. Him and Tom Brady are like 7-0 against the young quarterbacks when they're age 25 or younger, and that includes Andrew Luck twice and Goff and Mahomes. And just gotta say that they're really good at what they do. Obviously, based on the Thanos picture we shared of Tom Brady and his 6 rings in the Infinity Gauntlet.
Gabe, have you seen that yet?
I saw that was that shared in our DM?
Yes. I need to let everyone see this. It's one of the more beautiful things I've ever seen.
Go ahead.
Oh no. Give me a second. It's impressive.
What's the green what's the green one?
Time Stone.
Time Stone. Yeah.
No.
Nerd alert.
in terms of Tom Brady rings, which one is that? Which
it's gotta be 6, so you can't see it based on the art that I gathered.
See, that's the one that doesn't matter. You can't see it.
One for the thumb, as they say. That's got to be number 6-ish.
That's going to be his nickname now, isn't it?
Was that 6?
Thanos, I don't know.
Yeah, I love it.
Thamos.
I'm very what's the word? And Memphis is who I owe the credit to this. He showed me this picture beforehand, and I had not seen it, and I'm officially enamored. I am enthralled. This is amazing. This is legit amazing. So whomever needs to take credit for this in terms of who created it, who posted it, it's beautiful. Well done.
I'm taking the Thamos hashtag right now just to make that clear.
You got to work at the lyrics.
Yes. Oh man. The also in the chat, Mr. Shane Manila, he said Memph, what? And speaking of with Shane also in the chat, and I might as well bring this up now. So Shane, and I guess this is becoming my weekly trade corner. I got another offer in a league, and I'm curious of y'all's thoughts, because we've discussed Damian Williams, but he continues to be a hot topic amongst folks on Twitter and abroad. So McNamara, I'll start with you since your Qs are basically giving this up. The 112 or Damian Williams in a running back points per carry league?
Damian Williams.
That easy for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, wait. Okay. Well, keep going, J. Mike.
No, I was just going to ask everybody else. What were the other thoughts?
Do you want more thoughts from me on that? I mean,
I do. Everyone. I want.
You want more? Okay. I don't know. I just look at I look a lot at. So in the research for my book, I created a metric called WARP, and AWARP, which basically WARP is the wins over replacement. That it's similar to the baseball metric wins above replacement, but it's wins over replacement. It's a it basically measures how many wins a player will add based compared to what would be the baseline player at a particular position. And you look at running back, and guys like Damian Williams can win you 1.5 games over what you would expect a replacement player to win. And that's a big deal. And you look at that area of the draft, that's not an area that's particularly lucrative in terms of producing that high of a difference maker. And especially in a down class of, I don't know if I want to say it's a down class as much as everyone else is saying. I think it's lesser of, I think it's,
there's not that.
Yeah, and I think there's
makes it sexy.
Right. Yeah, and I think it's more depth than right. I don't know. I look at this class, and there's a lot of players in it that I think are better than some of the guys that are being talked up right now. So I don't know how it all turns out, but I just look at a guy like Damian Williams, and I think he can be a legit difference maker. And I'd have a hard time passing that up for a 112.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with you. Listen, and we're talking. I mean, it depends, if they take somebody or any of that. But Damian Williams was good as hell. Like, let's not twist it. Like, he was not helping all of us win championships if you had him on your roster. So yeah, and what's 112? What? Here, I'll grab a dart and I'll throw it at the picture of a bunch of guys, and maybe one of them will stick. Give me Damian Williams easy.
Well, then I'll play the devil's advocate. What if Damian Williams turns out to be Alex Collins?
What are the chances that last year Alex Collins? I
mean, it would be a trade I would be more likely to consider at my rookie draft than right now. Right now, I would take Damian Williams, but I'm just playing devil's advocate. I don't think his job's that secure. The only thing that they have going for him is that Spencer Ware's a free agent. I don't likely to think that he's coming back. So it's him and the other Williams. I do think they'll draft someone in the rookie draft, but they have 7 picks, so they've got a full allotment. It'll come down to when they address running back. If they address it, I saw a mock draft today where they had him taking Josh Jacobs in the first round. I saw one the other day that had him taking David Montgomery. I think it was in the second. If that happens, he's done. His goose is cooked. So as an owner, you have to decide, do I want to cash out a guy that 3 months ago was probably on your waiver wire or on the way bottom of your bench? Do I want to cash out, and turn this into something else, and maybe you can package that and move on up? It's a hypothetical, but it's definitely interesting. It's a tough spot to be in. I don't have any Damian Williams, so but in this case,
I don't either. I know I'm arguing for him, but I don't have him either. But
I think I'd be interested in just to see what happens after the draft, and if they don't draft a running back until 5th, 6th round or whatever, like is his price like really gonna go through the roof for a guy like Damian Williams?
I think it will.
Really? For a guy like Damian Williams?
It's an Andy Reid running back, though. I mean,
you could throw me out there. I could get at least 50 yards in one game.
I mean, he's got I think it's like a 17-year track record of running back success in the NFL for fantasy. I mean, going clear back to Deuce Staley, Brian Westbrook, LaShawn McCoy. I mean, the list just goes on. And even the backups to those guys, have fantasy relevance. So if you're the lead dog there in Kansas City with that high-powered offense, yeah, I mean, it'd be hard not to. I was listening to Ryan McDowell, and he was talking about how it was the biggest 1-month ADP spike that he had ever seen. He went from like in the 200s to like 70 something in 1 month. So if they don't do anything major in free agency, which as of right now, according to Spotrac, they've got about $25 million in cap room. If they don't, bring over a Tevin Coleman, a Mark Ingram, someone like that, and if Damian Williams avoids competition in free agency or the draft, heck yeah, man, he'll probably make it into the 40s or 50s of ADP. Does that sound crazy?
Not entirely, I guess. It's just and it probably says more about what the Chiefs would think of him. But just like thinking about that and you running through between Tevin Coleman and Mark Ingram and just the draft, even though the running back class isn't incredibly amazing from what we've heard, but it's relatively deep. Like if they completely avoid that and ride with Damian Williams. That would be a salute to him for sure. But man, that's a long road. That seems hard to believe.
Listen, I'm with you, Gabe. Like, it's not Damian Williams that I like. It's just, he's the one that's in a prime situation to be good. If I would have been talking about Damian Williams 2 months ago, I would have been talking about how he's a poop sandwich just sitting on your table, just
there it is,
pushing out onto the table. But I hear you.
I'm just that's saying, why he's we're all talking. Guys. We're all talking like he's going to be replaced, essentially. Like it feels that way. Everyone thinks that it's either going to be a free agent or in the NFL draft, and that he's immediately going to be threatened by someone. And so why would we want to, have shares of that at this point with that 112 or whatever it is? Like, why would you even touch it? I mean, sure, we can talk about value all day, like what is the right price for it, but like, why? If we all I don't know, maybe we're not all on that same page. Like, Jordan, are you thinking that he has a chance to go through this unscathed?
I do. And I don't know. I think the Alex Collins conversations, I think that's a good lens to look at this thing. But again, you look at what Alex Collins was going 20 picks sooner in startups last year, right? I mean, you can't, I don't know. I tend to break drafts, dynasty drafts, and sort of team building into a couple different categories, right? The top 6 rounds, I don't want to miss, right? But Damian Williams isn't going in there, right? So you sort of are transitioning to a spot in your drafts where you should be taking a lot more running backs. You should be taking guys that have higher upside. And I'm not willing to write him off as not good. I mean, all right, so he's in Miami, right? And he's a restricted free agent. And where does he go? Where is he potentially linked to? Where does he take visits? New England. You think that coach knows running backs? All right. So he loses his job, right? To, him and Kenyon Drake were basically going to replace Jay Ajayi when Jay Ajayi gets traded. Damian Williams gets hurt. Kenyon Drake basically takes the lead job. And where does he end up? In Kansas City. You think Andy Reid knows running backs? I mean, I don't know. I sort of look at all that, and that story that speaks to me a little bit. And I'm not big on chasing coaches, but there's a select handful of situations in which I will. And those are 2 coaches that I'll chase in terms of talent. Another one's Sean Payton, right? You sort of, if you mimic what the Saints do in their team building, it's a pretty profitable strategy. And so that speaks to me. They commit to him more than Alex Collins was committed to. And he's going 2 rounds, maybe even 3 rounds cheaper than Alex Collins was going 12 months ago, right? So all of those things, I think, I was way out on Collins at his cost, but I find Williams to be really interesting. I own him in a bunch of places. I'm not selling him for a late first. That 112 range, I'll hold him. If I can do a random 2021st, I'm interested on that. I bet you I could probably get an ancillary piece thrown on top of that. That's something I'm interested in. But at the late first, I'll take my shot. I'll take the shot on it.
I just think the best case scenario for him is it's 1 year. Even if he is the man for 2019, it's just 2019. I don't see that being a long-term solution for that offense. And I'm looking at the 112, and I'm looking at the overall top 50 according to our friends over at the Dynasty Command Center. That's Ryan McDowell and Travis May in that group. And right now with the 112, you would be looking at Devin Singletary or Benny Snell. And based on landing spot, I might rather have Devin Singletary or Benny Snell. I mean, not so much Benny Snell, but definitely Darrell Henderson. They have at 110. Devin Singletary at 111. In that range, I mean, I can't tell you that in a dynasty league, redraft give me all the Damian Williams in that scenario, but in dynasty, I don't hate Henderson or Singletary there.
What if it's one of those guys to the Chiefs?
If they land in good spots, I don't think those type of players will be there either. I mean, because if those guys land in, Philly or wherever, I think you're talking mid-first, earlier first for those types of guys. It just, I don't know. I think I might be talking myself out of Damian Williams because
he feels like a 1 year rental regardless.
Yeah, I don't see him being the guy in Andy Reid's system for more than next year. So I don't know. I mean, it sucks. Luckily, I don't have to make this decision because I don't have the dude anywhere. That's the bonus I have, and I'm selfish. And Yeah, no, that's why we're talking like this, because it is such a headache, this whole situation.
So I find the Damian Williams 112 comparison interesting because everyone's down on this class, and some folks that I've talked to in strategy sessions and that have reached out to me on Twitter, people that have bought my book, have sort of reached out and said they think the rookie market's depressed, and when they send me what where they're getting rookie picks in drafts, I think it clearly is. One of the things I was able to identify was basically the historical value of rookie picks compared to what their startup valuation should be. And I'll tell you one thing, if you're taking Damian Williams, you're talking about a pick that's about 75 overall in startup drafts right now, taking the 112 on him is a more than 2-round loss in terms of what your historical startup rate should be. And I don't know, I look at the back half of that first round, and I'm a big I believe a lot in drafting a lot of running backs in rookie drafts. You take basically picks 7 through 12 that have been drafted in rookie drafts that is their ADP in the past 10 years. The hit rate on that's 43%. Right. So we might talk about Damian Williams as only being a 1-year guy. If he hits for a top 24 season, that's actually a win. Okay. So I sort of look at those things and I say, the 112, I'm not cashing out at the appropriate market value. And, I think he's probably going to be the guy this year. And let's assume they draft somebody, right? Let's assume that they draft, I don't know, David Montgomery on day 2 or something like that. That doesn't make Williams without value, right? He would still be a fully capable 3-down back in a backup spot. And that's right. Those are the types of running backs that you should roster as backups.
And are we sure he would be the backup in this situation? I mean, Spencer Ware was the starter when Kareem Hunt got drafted. So, I mean, just to defend your point a little, even if that does happen, that doesn't necessarily mean that the dude would not be the starter for this year either.
Yeah, and you know what? They signed him. Well, I think it was $4 million a year through 2 years. I think only year one's guaranteed, right? That doesn't point to me someone like that they're just going to ship off, right? That this isn't a team that spends a ton. They're not in the Le'Veon Bell market. That's not what they've ever done. And so is it likely they draft someone? I'm sure. But again, I don't, even if that, I'll tell you what, if they draft someone on day 3 that people are scared of, I'll be buying Damian Williams all the way down, right? I mean, that's just the type of bet that you should make.
And I will qualify that. I would rather have Damian Williams on a contender. If maybe I was the returning champion, or maybe I felt like I was one running back away, or I need a little bit of depth, I would totally agree with the Damian Williams side. So it could be a little roster dependent as well.
I'd kind of like to go and ask that owner for Damian Williams after the draft, and after, I don't know, in a scenario where they end up with a Snell or a Henderson, something like that on day 2. Like, that seems like an ideal scenario where it would make the owner sweat enough, and to where the community would also be a bit more down than where he is now. What did you say, 70, 75 or whatever? Like, I'm sure he would drop down into the 90s, 100s range, and that day 2 running back would be right there with him, just because of the situation of Andy Reid and being a running back. So that's when I wouldn't mind taking a stab. I don't know. I wouldn't want to do it pre-draft. Yeah. I just think it's too risky.
Yeah, and I think that
I think there's a price there that we can get after the fact.
It's a very gambling situation. You know what? It could pay off for you big time, or you could lose your entire investment, and we won't know until draft time. It's kind of what makes it fun in this situation, like Jerry said.
But even to build on your all's point, and we can pivot if we need to, but it's not even just escaping the draft for Williams, like you all were saying with Spencer Ware, and it was brought up in the chat here too. And again, that's something that I think we touched on previously, but obviously Spencer Ware was signed with that similar little extension that Williams just got, expecting to get, shoulder more of a load a couple years back. And then he gets injured, Kareem Hunt's on the scene, and Kareem Hunt becomes a major thing, right? Same thing happens again when Spencer Ware is again tabbed to be the guy, gets hurt again, and now Damian Williams comes on the scene and becomes someone that we're discussing now for first round value, when he couldn't do anything with Kenyon Drake in Miami. And I just find it all interesting how thin of a margin it is for success, or for someone to find success And like you all are saying, particularly in an Andy Reid offense, the margin's so thin because if you're the guy getting the work, then you're likely going to do well, right? But you have to be the guy that's getting the work is the question, right? So for 112, and to your point, Memphis, even if you are not on a contender, if you throw, let's say you did acquire a late round first in this instance, you could try to slide that 112 in, thinking that, you know, maybe if Williams is the man come the season and a playoff team that's pushing really needs him, at that point, I mean, you could probably ask for, you know, who knows what to be able to make that price right.
That's fair because you could get a 2020 first and maybe a random 2020
first.
And then we're all in agreement, I think, that the 2020 class has much better outlook than this class, although I think this class is a little underrated. But no, I see that's a great strategy as well.
So
all
many
right, J-Mike, that's enough. Damian
I just
Williams
found it interesting.
20 minutes.
Gabe loves it.
Can I ask you guys a question? I put this out on Twitter recently. I'm interested in you guys' position on this. If I tell you a random pick, basically, you know, let's talk about a random 2020 first round pick. How do you guys sort of look at that? Are you thinking late round? Are you thinking early round? Are you thinking mid round? How do you guys sort of value that in terms of valuation?
107. I don't know why that's just specific. When I see a poll like that on Twitter, I always like to think of it as a later round. I have no reason for that, but because if someone says a random, usually if it's an early first round pick and they say it, they'll say it's going to be early. Like they can look at their team and see that that's a poop team. So
still never know though.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
There was a guy in a league that I was in that in the 2017 draft, he had a poop team, to use my co-host's words there, and he wound up drafting 2 running backs.
Better than our opening words.
He drafted 2 running backs. Maybe you heard of them late in that first round. He drafted a guy named Alvin Kamara and a guy named Kareem Hunt. And his roster going into that season didn't look like much. And we would have thought his 2018 pick would have been, you know, the 101 through 104. And he ended up finishing in the playoffs that year because of those 2 running backs. So it's not always that easy. So yes, I'm with Jerry. I'm in like the 106 range and just be done. So if you're using a trade calculator type tool, that's where I would put in a 2020 first right now.
And if it's better, that's just house money.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And if it's a little bit worse, it's still a first round pick. You know, picture, like I said this on the Rookie Fever podcast last week, they're like owning a Dairy Queen in the Midwest. Their value goes down in January, but the value goes right back up at summertime. And it's the same thing with these rookie picks. You know what? Their value goes down when the season starts, but they go right back up right now. And every day that you hold on to your rookie picks is one day they're worth just a little bit more. And I saw a guy, industry guy I'm in a league with, and everybody gets excited. And if they don't have rookie picks, man, I call it FOMO, fear of missing out. If they don't have a first round pick, you'll be surprised what people would give up to draft a Michael Gallup or a Lamar Jackson in a Superflex league. You would be stunned. So I hold on to my picks as much as I can until draft day, even if I don't quote unquote love the draft, because I know that's when the action comes. Go to MFL and search the last 365 days. And look at how much action went on in your league during the rookie draft last year. It'll support my statement, and that's when the action comes. That's when the value is. So if you're trading rookie picks right now, you're doing the overall value of your team a disservice because you can get more then.
And shout out to MFL for that rollover today. I see you,
MFL. We got you. I was like, we'll be back in a few hours. They're like, we'll be back in a few hours. Like, few hours, my ass. And sure enough, to their credit, about 4 hours later, boom, back up and running.
They're becoming more efficient in their process.
But then you're all weird because half your leagues have rolled over, the other half aren't, and it's like you use the league drop-down menu thing, and only like a fourth of your leagues are there, and you're like, what the hell? So for the next week, it's going to be weird, but I like it. I like it so far because when you click on a player, it does some new stuff. So props, MFL. We see you.
Oh, really?
Jordan, where do you stand on it?
The random pick?
Yeah,
I would.
Yeah.
So I I found this debate interesting. I put it out on Twitter, and I was surprised that 3/4 of the league said it might have even been closer to 85% of people said basically, pick 6 or beyond, and I actually did some analysis on it. I ran some simulations. I actually think it's 105. Based on, I looked at the warp data. I ran 10,000 simulations on it, and it comes out about the 105. So, and if you think about it, right, that doesn't sound like a huge difference, but in production value, it's actually 20% above where you guys are talking. So I think that's a hidden efficiency. And especially if you just sort of say, hey, I'm going to trade for a random future pick, and I'm going to take a running back. Like, if you just sort of do those two things, that's a massive upgrade, right? Like, that's the value on that running back, that random running back, actually turns out to look a lot more like a top 3 pick. So I don't know. I sort of look at that, and so we were talking about the orphan building strategy a little bit. I really like that sort of take a random shot a year out, because there's so much uncertainty. And again, if you say late first, I think we're really bad at evaluating teams way in advance, right? Sometimes. Yeah. You can just tell. Look, if this team suffers 4 injuries, they're still going to be the 1 seed in the playoffs, right? I mean, those type of teams exist, but you'd be surprised at how tenuous some of the stuff is. So, I look at it, and I tend to think that rookie picks are undervalued, just based on, you look at the data and you compare the rookie pick value to the startup pick, the corresponding startup pick that I've identified, and the rookie pick's more productive. And then you sort of look at that and you say, okay, there's a lot more safety and security in the pick, right? The pick doesn't lose a job, the pick doesn't get hurt, the pick doesn't get cut, suspended, arrested, whatever. And there's a lot of security in that. And so again, you're coming back up towards draft day a year out, and it's rising in value. And so I tend to think rookie picks are undervalued, and and I think that we tend to weight the positions wrong too. And so if you come at it with those 2 ways, I think it's really hidden efficiency.
That's why I could listen to Jordan talk all day.
Could you just read to us while we go to bed out of your book? Bedtime stories with J Mac.
I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I have to read out loud for my day job. Right, I'm a prosecutor during the day, and I had to read these stipulations.
Oh shit!
Got 5-0 on here. There goes Jerry.
God, I'll tell you what. I had to read, and I couldn't make it through a paragraph. I was stammering, stumbling over myself. Like, I just can't write stuff down and read it. So I would be the worst. I'd be the worst audio book reader of all time. It would be all these sorts of mess ups and everything. It'd be pretty funny.
Random off-topic question: Who would you want to read your autobiography? Samuel L. Jackson or Morgan Freeman?
Got to be Morgan Freeman, man.
I need the MFers of Samuel L. Jackson.
I love Pulp Fiction. Mine's got to be Samuel L. Jackson.
Morgan Freeman's reading your autobiography or your memoir. You sound 50 IQ points smarter, and a lot more sophisticated.
That's a fact.
You got a point. I'm switching Morgan Freeman.
Randy's IQ will be 53 now.
Yeah. All of the benefits of life just go up with Morgan Freeman as the narrator there.
Extra soothing.
Yeah, for sure. Jordan, if people buy the book, instead of a strategy session, can they break those up into smaller segments where you read a chapter of your book to them per night?
I'm telling you, James, like, you don't want to do that, man. I'm telling you, I can't. It's funny. We come on these, like, I've been doing some podcast appearances, and I'm on with UTH and stuff, and we jokingly say at UTH we've never seen a show sheet. But man, I tell you what, if I have to write stuff down before the podcast, I can't even, like, I get so messed up in terms of trying to read it. I can't read out loud. So, and it's funny, like, I'll go through a whole trial and I'll have written down like no questions because I just can't read them. I just can't. I'm terrible at reading out loud.
I've got a new goal.
You don't want to listen to me read out loud. Trust me.
I'm going to hit the Powerball on Wednesday night, and I'm going to hire Morgan Freeman to read me the Analytics of Dynasty.
Yeah, there you go.
Analytics of Dynasty.
Chapter 1.
Morgan Freeman.
Chapter 1. Damian Williams. Chapter 2. 2020 First round picks. What's chapter 3 on the open bar, J Mike? What do we got?
Let's
the chat
keep it
talking about
cracking.
anything fun? Can we do something? What are we doing?
I mean, jeez, calm down. Jeez. Didn't finish shouting out people in the chat earlier. Someone's in the chat that I think you need to know about, Gabe, because I'm not sure the last time you've talked to this guy. Clint Followell.
Hey.
The pastor, Bay, your Bay.
Yeah.
He's in the chat. Any special message for him?
Look, Bay, when are we going to take over this power hungry league? I'm sick of just sitting in the back, like watching players do poorly for us. Like, let's just start making some moves. But let's not try to understand all the powers, because I'm not into that, like, at all. Bosch, I love you, but I hate learning and understanding all of your leagues.
And listen to really, as a pastor, can you please not listen to the first 10 minutes of this show?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm like just getting over that.
Felt like forever ago.
Morgan Freeman kind of calmed me down a little bit.
Yeah. Shane Manila's in the building. What's up, Shane? Sam Lane, FF Stompy, aka SFB8 champion. He shouted us out. He said, "Hey, I just want you all to know I love you." That was very kind of him to say.
What
he
a
didn't have to say that, but he
What
did.
a nice guy.
I was within at least like 830 spots of him in Scott Fishbowl, so we're one in the same.
Give or take 800 spots.
Yes.
On the scroll, on the Belaski scroll.
Belaski scrolls.
No, he had me doing good. That guy, he pooped the bed on my team.
Shout out to Tyler Shug T. He's good people. Sam Lane also says, hey, his Wubba Lubba Chub Chub, excuse me, Wubba Lubba Chub Chub t-shirt is on the way. Speaking of, we'll come back to that later. Dave, is that okay?
Say it now. Say it as many times as we want.
No, you say it now.
Oh, well, okay. We opened a store last week. The Open Bar store. The Open Store. Poppin' tags? No, poppin' tabs. That won't be on the shirt, I promise. But that is just something fun to say to all your friends and neighbors about the Open Bar and the apparel that belongs to the Open Bar. We have one shirt on there that says "Wubba Lubba Chub Chub," and it's in Rick and Morty cartoon style. It says "Wubba Lubba Chub Chub." I'm sure J Mac is all over the Wubba Lubba Chub Chub. Oh, I love that face. We can talk about Wubba Lubba Chub Chub next. And we want more things. We don't know what it is yet, but we'll figure it out. It's certainly not going to have anything to do with the beginning of our show, but it might have something to do with something else in the show. We'll figure that out, though. Quick plug. Moving on. J Mike, you got something?
Wonderful. Still in the chat because, like I said, it was lit all the way up. Jesse Reeves is in the building. What's up, Jesse? Top Gunth is in the building. And they were, a lot of people were really digging what you had to say, Memphis, just in terms of your soliloquy on one Damon Williams and the opposing viewpoint, which was fun. I think I'm getting caught up. Oh, no, the executive producers in the building. Everyone sit up straight. Get all the gunk off of your face. Jake Anderson, all rise, is now in the chat, as well as Chris Allen. What's up, Chris? My brother. Hope you are well up in Dayton. Yeah, I think I'm caught up on the chat now. Shane said Jake made a comment about getting his shirt yesterday. Shane said they sell condoms in there, referring to our store. So
you can get an FF bar, an open bar condom.
No. Why?
Oh. I'm like, wait a second. I saw the Trade Addicts mug.
Yeah,
I was like,
what Shane's done.
I was like, your merchandise has jumped the shark.
There's levels to this.
Listen, you're the one that doesn't want the fourth kid. That's all I'm saying.
That's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact. As a matter of fact,
help you.
I appreciate you guys looking out for me the way you do. I do. Gabe, in the randomness of this bio for the show, I want to have a quick few drafts. There'll just be 1 round drafts on random things. Can we do that real quick?
Oh, money.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Jerry, you actually no, on the YouTube actual display here, it looks as though Memphis is numero uno. Jordan, you got the 102. I'm gonna have 103. Jerry, you're 104. Gabe, 5 spot. First up, top 5 soda flavors. What's your 101, Memphis?
Are you serious? I was just kidding.
A&W. Now, typically I drink beverages without calories because I'm a husky lad. But if I just going all out, AMW.
Hold on. This dude does marathons and stuff. Don't listen to him.
I don't.
He do laps around me.
People don't do marathons, Randy.
But A&W cream soda, money, an absolute fave. 101.
I had a cream soda the other day, and it'd been about 10 years since I was just a boy.
I'm just a Coke drinker, man. Just regular Coke.
Fountain or can?
You know, it's can. It's actually can. Can.
Just what about bottle? The Mexican Coke. Mexican Coke bottle.
Bottle's good. Bottle's good. I like getting a can. I can get it at work in a can at work, so it hits the spot.
Can at work. No. So apparently we need setting on this too. Memphis setting for your A&W cream soda.
Fountain, if you can get it like at like an ice cream stand, like old school. But I'll drink it however. Can, fountain, but fountain preferred.
Do they do because KFC does like when they combine like the A&W whatever? Don't they have that like on tap, like the A&W on tap? You ever had that on tap?
Not from a KFC. I've had it from there's like an old school drive-in type place in my hometown that has like legit cream soda on tap, and that's like a destination when I'm visiting my mom.
Okay.
At 103, I am taking cherry Sprite because it's delicious.
LeBron James.
No. Look, I've been rocking cherry Sprite since before I could probably do most things in life, so I'm pretty happy about that pick there. Sinclair, it's on you, sir.
All right, mine is I think Faygo is regional, so I don't know if you guys have Faygo.
I'm with you, yeah.
But mine is definitely Faygo Rock and Rye. It's a flavored cream soda of some sort. I don't know what kind. I couldn't tell you. It's just heaven. It touches your lips, and it's wonderful.
How do you spell
that? Got a little Faygo Red Pop right here too. Second, that's my 102.
Faygo, Faygo. It's like F-A-Y. It's basically like it's like a hood version of Fanta.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Okay.
We got that in Indy.
Yeah.
Faygo. I don't like saying it. Like I feel like I'm saying a slur.
All right. Here's the problem with Faygo.
No, I do. I don't feel great. I don't feel great about it.
I am not an ICP juggalo type of guy. But if you listen to that type of music, their huge thing is Faygo. So that's sort of the negative connotation I've been around with them.
The 10th picture down on Google Images, just by searching Faygo, has the ICP guys just smashing it. That's funny. All right. ICP's own Jerry.
Nah.
Juggalo Jerry.
Gabe, what was yours? Bringing up the rear, 105.
You say bring it up the rear right after Faygo? Come on.
Look, man. No, I'm done with you.
Hope the pastor tuned out.
Yeah. Sorry, Bay. That was in no way meant to be referential or anything. But I don't know. Soda, I don't do that. Okay, hold up. You know what? Because y'all talking about A&W and Faygo for cream soda, and it's not a cream soda, but it's in the same family. And this is 101 as far as root beer goes as well, but Barks root beer. BARK apostrophe S. I don't know if there's an apostrophe.
That was a Q. Yeah.
It's Q.
What did I say? I was like waiting to say Q the whole time. I was saying K.
Oh
my god! It's like I don't even soda, so I deserve that entirely. But BARQ apostrophe S, and I was about to say I don't even know if there's an apostrophe or not because I don't soda, so I have no idea. But if anything, that for sure. I'm a cocktail man, and you know what? Barley pop is where I'm at, bro. Barley pops. That's my 105.
Fair enough.
It's the opening bar.
McNamara, you have the 101 in this next draft. This draft is now of upcoming rookies that you absolutely want on every single one of your 32 orphans. So not necessarily like the best player, but the guy that you definitely want on every single one of your teams. Like your favorite right now.
Well, I mean, my favorite rookie would probably be Josh Jacobs, but I think your question more speaks to at their cost.
However you want to frame it.
It's
your pick.
My
Your
dude
guy.
right now, Alex Barnes,
Yeah.
out of Kansas State. He's not even ranked in places, and that dude should be a top 5 back in this class.
Ooh.
Writing that down.
Spicy.
Look at Alex Barnes.
Alex Barnes.
You want to see tape? You want to see tape? Go watch Alex Barnes play Oklahoma State this year. That's all I'll say.
Man.
First the mullet. Got it.
Okay, fair enough. Alex Barnes.
And it sounds like he might be cheap until that bump just happened.
The McNamara bump.
He's not ranked in places, so
That's wild. And like you just said, like I haven't even heard of him. So that's good. That's good on you. Very good.
He could conceivably be the best speed scorer at the combine.
I think we need to make sure this is an actual human. That could be a soda.
I don't want to download a bunch of random viruses on my computer when I Google Alex Barnes, like code name Analytics of Dynasty viralware. Like, let's go.
Chapter 3, Alex Barnes.
Love your orphans. So in the 102 spot, which is me, guy that I like a lot in this class, and I haven't dug into all the receivers yet, but golly, I'm really digging Kelvin Harmon. I just think that he's tough, and he makes a lot of tough catches, and he's really good along the sidelines. I really liked a lot of what I've seen from him so far. 103, Mr. Sinclair.
I would have taken Harmon. I am going to go Darrell Henderson. A little bit scares me just because, the competition he played and he just puts the burners on. Oh, and that dude gets running. It's so fun to watch. My man he's 20 yards downfield in a heartbeat. So Darrell Henderson's a dude I'm going to try for a lot, I think.
That's what's up.
That definitely would have been mine.
I love how we keep sniping each other. Your turn, Gabe.
Am I 104? No, I'm not. I'm 105, aren't I?
We've bumped it. We've bumped it back one. So yes,
we
you're
shifted.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. Well, I'm a bit confused. Like because I feel like this question could be like, are you just making sure you have this player on your team? Like, I don't know, because kind of what J-Mag was saying, just like the price included, like, yeah, Josh Jacobs would be great, but like, what's that going to cost? Harry would be my guy, I guess, but what's that going to cost?
Maybe a guy that you're willing to draft a little bit earlier than the ADP might suggest because he's your dude and you want him on your team.
Randall, thank you. My goodness. I did not know that a simple question like, hey, who's a guy you like a lot could be so meticulously picked apart by someone who, I don't know, analyzes data all day long. Good freaking grief.
All right. There's the heat from J-Mike, finally.
That's my heel turn right there.
I think I think I'm still gonna say N'Keal Harry. Because I don't know. I feel like he seemed like a unanimous 101, and then everyone's kind of on Metcalf, and Harmon's kind of gotten some buzz too, and now Jacobs and Montgomery, like all these guys, like I feel like there's going to be a big tier at the top of like between 105 and 106 almost, dependent on, combine and things. But I feel like maybe it wouldn't be a huge price at this point, for Harry. So Harry, I'm a sucker for those types of wide receivers. Like, there's always like one every year, and Harry's the dude, man. I love him.
Wait, who was your guy last year? For those that may not know or remember,
Cortland Sutton, busting my Suttons.
Okay.
Loosened up my son.
What was that? Drake and Jamie Foxx, or no, Jamie Foxx song? Always Fall for Your Type. Is that a little bit of a type you got there, Gabe?
Yeah, I'm super basic pumpkin spice latte, organic, non-GMO with my Dynasty fantasy football takes.
Oh shoot! Last but not least, Memphis.
I'm going to go Terry McLaurin, and this is a guy I saw a little bit at the Senior Bowl, and I had the good fortune last week on 2 different podcasts to spend a little time with Nick Whalen and a little bit of time with Andy Singletary, Andy Singleton. I was mixing him and Devin Singletary together, and both these guys had very positive things to say about Terry McLaurin. So then I dug into the tape, and I like him too. So he could shoot up an ADP if he were to land in a really good spot. But I liked all the things that I read, and that he was very well, did a very good job with the interview process as well as being good on the field. So he's someone that's definitely going to leave a lot of rookie drafts on my team.
I'm mad at you.
That's the receiver
wide receiver out of Ohio State. Yeah, I didn't know a lot. I didn't know a ton about him. I focus so much on the pro side and the dynasty side that I really rely on guys. As I'm just now the last month or so been digging into this rookie class. But I mean, when you hear it twice from 2 guys that you really respect, like Andy and Nick, it was like, okay, I've got to bump this guy to the top of the film watching list and really see what's going on. And I like him. And the more that I read and the more that I dig, the more that I think he'll be on a lot of my squads.
Last draft here, and I'll stop boring you, Gabe. I'm sorry.
No, you weren't at all. I just didn't know that you would actually do that, and I love you for it.
Mr. Sinclair, we're actually going to start with you this time with 101 here.
Boom.
One upcoming rookie prospect here that you are much lower on, or just say, I'm hands off, when other people are like, yeah, really like that guy.
Benny Snell.
Oh, the Snell slander.
I feel like I fall for like that type of guy every year, and I'm always like, I love Derrick Henry and I love Jordan Howard, and then halfway through the year I'm like, damn it, why did I take Derrick Henry and Jordan Howard? And I feel like I watch Benny Snell, and I liked him at Kentucky. Like, the dude was good, and that's why I know that I should probably not take him, because I sort of like him. And he's one of those guys that's just like, I'm a big guy and I run straight. Benny effing Snell, man.
Snell, yeah. All right.
Oh, I hope that's not real.
What the Rock is cooking.
That's
a little bit of UK fight song remix with the Snell, yeah. Wonderful, yeah. 102, Gabe, it's on you.
Ooh, I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily. I don't know. Like I said, I think there's going to be a large tier, but if I was going to like rank guys, I don't think I would have Harmon at the top of my rankings. Like everyone kind of seems to be on that gentleman's private parts. And I'm not entirely like I enjoyed the tape, and I agree with you as far as the contested catches, J Mike, and the route running was pretty nasty. I just I wasn't sure about separation, and I wasn't sure about his hands. I guess like it seemed like he seemed to catch with his body a lot, but I didn't see a whole lot of tape, and I haven't dug in enough yet. But from the limited amount that I saw, it wasn't as much as the other wide receivers that I like. And like I said, I think that he'd just be lower than the other wide receivers, but still in a very high tier.
Fair. Very fair.
That's fair. Another thing that sort of gives him a hit, I think it was Travis May said it when we had him on the War Zone, was that he lines up on the right side of the field, I think like 96% of the time or something absurd like that.
Yeah.
Facts. Memphis.
I'm going to go Rodney Anderson.
Hey.
And and haters in the building. But for me, it's the two prong. It's not just the injury. I mean, I like the talent. I like what I've seen on tape. But you add in the off the field issues with the injury. It's kind of a weird injury history, but that's enough for me to want to where I think he'll go in drafts, which will be, I don't know. I could see this guy going as early as the back end of round 1 and as late as the back end of round 2. And I just think that there'll be someone else that I prefer based on those two strikes against him between the injury history and the off the field stuff. Just not worth it to me. So it'd have to be, a little bit later. So in this case, it's going to be Rodney Anderson.
Is there anywhere that he lands or any draft spot that he lands that makes you change your position? Just because I know a lot of people love Rodney Anderson. A lot of people are very, very high on his talent, obviously not incredibly available with the injuries and some people, not being a big fan of him, the person. But is there anywhere that he lands that makes you change your tune at all?
Philadelphia comes to mind, number 1. Yeah. The Colts, Kansas City, Tampa Bay. Those are some of the prime landing spots for running backs right now. So I would have to. I would have to take into account where he landed, and that would move him up my draft board. But just in a vacuum where he is currently, yeah, that would be him for me.
So, Mac.
It's up to me.
Indeed.
He looks like he's got something up his sleeve, too.
Yeah.
David Montgomery.
Hey,
that was my consideration.
I'll tell you what, everyone's all over him as being the top, the top, 2 running back in this class. I look at that dude and he's got 4.65 written all over him.
Yep.
Maurice Claret.
Whoa! Wow. Spicy.
Excuse me. I think I cut out for a second there. My internet's going a little bit haywire down here. I think the cords are actually frozen. So, no, he's got 4.65 written all over him. The dude just cannot separate from anybody. And I know he's done productive things. I know and listen, this is a question of cost, right? I mean, if we weren't talking, top 6 picks in a rookie draft, I'd be interested someplace in the mid second, right? I like that profile, but I can't get on board with a guy that just can't separate from anybody. And, Jamal Williams is a guy that I liked a lot, but again, similar. I don't think they're that dissimilar, and they're going a full round difference in rookie drafts. That's crazy to me. So I think they're similar players. And so, we'll see how he tests, but I think he's got a super low floor in terms of how he tests.
I really like that comp.
Ooh.
I mean, it hurts my soul a little, but now I got to go watch Jamal Williams in college.
For everyone listening on podcast form, you can find him at McNamara Dynasty with all of your hate and with all of your venom, with all of your displeasure.
That's not where I thought he was going with that one.
No, but I mean, if you look at, just take the player out of it for a second. And I think one of the mistakes we make, generally speaking, in terms of player evaluation, is we talk too much about the specific player and not enough about the profile.
Hey, listen, y'all. This is from the book. Y'all take notes.
Yeah,
we call this Memphis a writer downer.
Hashtag write that down, a writer downer.
Yeah, I mean, I like to look at the profile players, right? And I like to look at instead of really looking at the name. And you take a player and, look what buckets they stick in. And I think when you do that with players, you tend to, you'll miss less and you'll hit more, right? You'll be able to identify players that just don't fit successful profiles. So a lot of these middling weight guys, these sort of tweener running backs, they have a hard road to hit. It's a narrow target for those guys. And I look at a guy like David Montgomery, and he just he does not fit the historical profile. And especially if he's not going, right, to take him in the top six picks of a rookie draft, he basically needs to be a top 45 NFL draft pick. I don't think there's any way that happens or that it should happen. I think that's a reach. And, so I just, that's a clear avoid to me, just by the player profile type perspective.
Fair enough.
Yeah, should happen or, could happen.
Yeah, Ronald Jones was a top 45 pick, so I guess.
Hey, man, no Ronald Jones slander. Look, man, that's strike 2. Next person to slander one of my guys. Y'all got to go. Got to go. No, yeah, I was a big Ronald Jones fan, but you're right. I didn't mean to cut your point off. Go ahead, Jordan. No, and that's again, you look at types of players. There's been 2 in the past 10 years. There's been 2 running backs drafted in the top in the first round of rookie drafts that have been running backs that weigh 205 pounds or less, and that caught less than a ball per game in college. Only 2, right? So you looking at a very narrow. What's that tell you about what his value is? And the other one was Ray Rice. Ronald Jones was 1. Ray Rice was 2. But if you actually look at Ray Rice's college profile, he was significantly thicker. Right? He was a much more accomplished runner. And he had an a second-round NFL draft pick as a backfield tandem mate. People forget that Brian Leonard was his teammate in college and goes in the second round and is a big-time receiving back. And then he leaves, and Ray Rice averages about 2 catches per game his last season in college. So if you take that out of it, right, Ronald Jones is in a very tenuous position in terms of small guys that don't catch. That's Amir Abdullah, empty yardage written all over it. It's just a big-time avoid profile to me. Sorry, Jay Mike. No, it's all good. I mean, you're just bringing up old memories. I feel like every week on the show, somebody else is just bringing up Ronald Jones and
I took him 108 in my main dynasty. Don't feel bad. He's just sitting, and he just reminds me of how stupid I am when I see him.
You got to
shut up, Ronald Jones.
You got a shot in that. As of right now, he's like the last man standing. Jaquiz Rogers is all but done.
Yeah, you say that, and then Jaquiz every time Jaquiz Rogers.
But guess what? The guy who drafted him or had a large hand in drafting him in the second round is still there, and the coach that hated him is not. So he's at least got a shot going into free agency in the draft.
He's got. Why you got to tease me? That's it. You're just teasing me.
He's got the best. There's nothing in between Ronald Jones but air and opportunity. He better make the most of it.
Hey, you got to be careful there. Peyton Barber's still there. He's no joke.
He's a restricted free agent. I like Peyton Barber, but
he'll be back.
He makes Jordan Howard look fast. Oh, Peyton
he can actually catch.
It's magic. That is true.
Last but not least, I will likely have, and this is funny because my homie Zach from the Dynasty Dummies, they were talking through their show about wide receivers over their last 2 shows that they've had on the podcast, and they kind of comp this guy to one of the guys that I kind of like a lot. And I don't know if it wasn't a direct comp. He was brought up in conversation with the same player, and I like John Ross a lot coming out. But for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because I've grown or something's changed. I do not like Marquise Brown. I'm not a Hollywood Brown guy. So, for whatever reason, even if he does fall late first, obviously, things can change, right? But not even with a landing spot that's like the juiciest of all juicy spots. Like I'm just not. I'm not excited about him.
What would be the best spot for him? What would be the juiciest?
I don't know what happens if he lines up as, the heir apparent to T.Y. Hilton or opposite T.Y. Hilton or, that could be something that you'd find incredibly fruitful, right?
Can the Colts be the new Smurfs then?
I don't see why not.
From way back in the day, all the wide receivers under just a bunch of small dudes, bunch of small fast dudes just running around out there.
Exactly.
Yeah, Eric Ebron lumbering around along the back line. I love it. What could go wrong?
No. This is foolproof. I love this. Foolproof player. Gabe, that's the end of my drafts. It was just 3 of them. I hope that didn't mess us up too bad.
That's great.
Yeah.
You missed one that I listed.
No, who'd you list? I'm sorry. Oh no, I wasn't going over all of them. I just wanted to go over 3.
Oh,
I didn't want to.
No, yeah. No, it's fine.
I mean, sheesh. We're 75 minutes in. It's all the bullets I got, Gabe.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to hit on before we go?
No.
I mean, if Gabe
you guys want to talk about Damian Williams, we haven't talked about Damian Williams at all.
I mean, we could do one more draft, or we could do one more round on Damian Williams. You know, whatever.
Okay, fine. Damian Williams games rank.
There was the classic last year. No,
it was probably about 5 games, wasn't it? Probably close.
We get just 5 in. We wouldn't even remember 4 or 5, and that would be really sad for him.
We're talking all this, and in 12 months, we're going to be having the damn Darrell Williams conversation just the same damn way.
So it's Darrell Williams worth the 112.
Are we doing him for 112?
It was about 5.
You guys remember Carell Buchalter? He reminds me a lot of Carell Buchalter. You saw what Andy Reid could do with Carell Buchalter. Come on.
Is he hurt? Games in.
That's right. I'm sorry, Gabe. I'm done. Anything else you guys want to hit on before we start hitting these outros?
I'm good. This is fun.
Good.
Hey, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It sounds like they're outroing their own selves out, aren't they, J Mike?
Well, in that case, night.
I didn't even get last call.
No last call, no nothing.
I didn't even tweet it. I didn't even tweet it. I don't want to. I'll tweet last call and then we'll start. J Mike. I was gonna ask you something. Can everyone hear me?
No, seriously.
Yes.
Yeah, we're
seriously. Damian Williams. No, I'm just
don't you do it.
In all seriousness,
I was watching the Goodfellas all over again. What do you mean I'm funny? Funny how? What do you mean, Damian Williams? What do you mean, Damian Williams is not worth a first-round pick?
Funny, like I make you laugh? Like
no, you said Damian Williams wasn't worth the first. How the hell? No.
Go get your shine box.
Oh, shoot.
I can't believe we talked about him for that long.
It's a very, prime topical conversation. And I appreciate Jordan, being professional and having the counterpoint, because there's a lot of owners in those shoes right now. And we didn't make it any easier for him.
Nope.
Because we had my own co-host on the fence.
I did switch sides.
You flip-flop a lot, Jerry.
Listen, I'd be a good politician. That's what we need in politics. Let's talk politics. There we go. Now we're good.
Yeah, that's not divisive at all, is it?
Jordan, you ready for your book sales to go through the roof? Let's do this. How you feel about Walls?
I see a whole lot of angry
2 appearances on the open bar
about
Jordan.
David Montgomery.
Yeah, between David Montgomery and the Wall, your approval rating is about the same as Trump. It's really good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It's gonna take.
All right, Gabe, I'm done.
I'm done too. Hey, guys, say. I'm gonna let you say some things about yourself. Feel free to share anything that you want, whether it be about fantasy football, something that you like to do for fun, a hobby in the off season of football, whether it's more football or less football. Just say something nice about yourself, but please don't say anything comparable to the first few words of this podcast. I just can't. My heart, I had to swallow just to think about it. Jerry, just talk. Go, Jerry. Go.
Jerry.
See, this is why I hate Randy. It's like third grade all over again. Because when I was in like third grade, it was when Jerry Springer was big, so I couldn't walk down the hall without hearing that. Listen, let's see something nice about me. I got nothing. Nothing. You put me on the spot, and I can't do it.
I know.
No, it was super fun to be on the show. You can find me on the Dynasty Warzone. Lots of shenanigans, just like this. I would love to say I am smart like McNamara, but that would be a 100% lie. I just like having fun. I like talking football. I'll talk to you on Twitter. I'll do whatever you want. It's a good time. Love hanging out with you guys. Would love to do it every day of every week of every month of every year. Other than that, let's see. I'm a gambling degenerate. I play video games too much. And I love football. That's me.
And you did inspire Trucker Hat Tuesday. Let's be real.
I did do that.
This is true.
The inspiration.
The only reason that hats are being worn on the open bar.
The first
Dave,
and
Mike,
last.
you never explained your hat.
This is actually a hat that was left here by one of my good friends. He stayed the night here, and I really don't even know what it's from. But he said, "Hey, just keep it." And I think the hat's awesome.
I like it.
Can you tell me about the hat, Gabe? Because I'm not sure.
I'm gonna go with some sort of New Mexico theme. Is where what I'm feeling.
Very Aztecian.
Yeah. But if you don't know,
now you know.
Now you fago.
Now you fago.
All right. I'll hand it over to your partners so we can keep the DFF tandem in check. Memphis hits.
DFF Army.
Yeah, man, just thank you for putting up with me. You guys learned the life of Jerry. Something fun about me. I know I enjoy being a dad, and this will be my second coming up season of coaching my son's little league team. Not much of a baseball guy anymore. I don't think I was born with ADD, but I think I've acquired it over the last few years. But it's great to get back into the game of baseball and spend some time with my son. So that's something about me that's fun. Outside of that, on the Dynasty side, record with my buddy Jerry here. We've been on a great run of guests. We've had your tag team partner there, J Mike, on, and a bunch of others. And it's just cool, man. This is the best part about Dynasty Fantasy Football, is talking year-round football with like-minded people and hanging out with guys like you guys. So, again, thanks for having us on, and you can find us every Wednesday morning. And we are proud members of the Dynasty Football Network. So check us out there, and all of our buddies like Shane and the rest of those knuckleheads.
Shane, when you say something like that, you start with the first name, and then you say the rest of the knuckleheads as if you're referencing lead knucklehead.
Shane is like the head nut.
Yeah,
and the mixed nut bag that is the DF network. But no, that's a bunch of great podcasts. And speaking of which, we got to get Gabe on. We've had J Mike on. We're going to get Gabe on. Then we're going to get them both on together, Jerry.
Don't threaten me with a good time. He set me up for that. He knew I was going with that. That's why he did it.
Hello.
I'm
that's
welcome to that. Yeah. Would love to jump on with y'all, and good stuff that y'all do over there at the War Zone. We had and I know you were talking about Sheps earlier. We've had Sheps on before. Is he still on the War Zone?
No, he had what I like to think called a life.
Yeah,
and sometimes
right.
Sometimes life for him and for him and Mike, the two original hosts, I was just like hanging around and I ran them off. I guess I'm bad luck. So good luck to you two.
Yeah.
But I'm still in 2 leagues with John, and John's doing real well. So
all right.
he's got a good life. He's still in the dynasty playing, and he's threatening to start up a new podcast. So
threatening.
Yeah, he likes to threaten us with a good time. Sheps is an amazing evaluator of film, and especially guys like this time of the year. So he's putting stuff out on Twitter. He's gonna be doing something soon. So keep an eye out for him for sure.
Yeah, shout out to John, good dude. We've definitely had him on before. All right, Jordan, J-Mac, the Morgan Freeman audiobook is now available. I'm just going to do your plug for you. J-Mac, my man, good to have you on. What do you have to say about yourself?
Thanks, guys. I wish I could, I wish I could afford the Morgan Freeman reading. That might spike the sales. It would be pretty good. No, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's funny because you're asking about hobbies, and I spent basically the past year of my life writing this book, and so now it's like, I'm making some appearances and talking about it and talking to folks about it, but I got to figure out something else to do. So, being a dad's cool. So I would echo your thought on that. I got a 14-year-old Rugrat running around, or 14-month-old Rugrat running around. So she's not 14 years old yet. That's
that reverse.
I was about to question some things for sure.
Last we talked, what were you talking about, dude? You picked the thing to heart. The book's been a cool experience. I mean, that was basically an all-consuming project, and you can find it at analyticsdynasty.com. You can get it at analyticsdynasty.com/shop. The book's there, $30 for the book, and if you want to get together and do a strategy session, we can do that too. There's a price option for that on the site as well, and it's a lot of different things, and there's a lot of things I think that are quote unquote common wisdom or things that are accepted as true that I've just found aren't true. And so there's a lot of that in the book. So you can go ahead and get the book, and I think it'll make you a more profitable dynasty owner.
Love it. I need to be that. So, who else wants to be that? Not you, because I'm in the league with you and I don't want you to be. But at the same time, like, J-Man, I need you to get some book sales. So wouldn't mind y'all buying the book. Go buy the book. Give us a link and we'll put it in our everything that we have, YouTube and iTunes and all those things.
Sounds good.
J Mike, the third vowel, if you will, of the JMC family.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. I'm working on that. I don't think it's clicking with everyone, but
you're giving good effort. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And as Memphis often says on his pod, he hits us often with and just saying, hey, make sure that when people are putting out quality work, that we are going out and supporting these people, particularly in the fantasy sphere. McNamara has done good work here, and I've heard him on several pods being out there and talking through his processes and whatnot for the book. So y'all go support that, man. It's an awesome project. And I certainly hope that you will consider doing so. Also, obviously, with our new Wubba Lubba Chub Chub shirts, I hope you guys will consider checking us out there as well. You'll see a link in the description of the podcast. I'm sure we'll probably be dropping links on our pages as well on Twitter. You can reach the show's page at the Open Bar FP, at the Open Bar FP as in fake pigskin. You can find the head honcho of this show himself, Gabe Gearing, on Twitter at FFManBun. You can find me on Twitter at JMikeCheck, at JMICCheck. And to our guests, thank you very much for coming on. We greatly appreciate you. Had an awesome time with you guys. Certainly hope that you'll consider joining us again for more nonsense down the road. To everyone in the chat, thank you guys for giving us so much fodder, for keeping it lit. Peter Howard came through in the end. I see you, Peter. What's up, brother?
Howdy.
And yes, PA Howdy himself.
Pete.
The wet blanket, if you will. Fantasy's wet blanket, I think is what I should really what he should have the nickname of. No, Peter's my guy. I love Peter. Yeah, and that is that. So again, to everyone who's checking us out on podcast form, you are missing a wonderful time on YouTube Live, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, each and every single Tuesday night. Never late, always on time, always with a drink, whether it be water or some bougie drink that Gabe puts together, Drambuie, which I will never forget. Still sounds like an exotic Victoria's Secret model.
Might be the name of your fourth daughter, J. Mike.
Damn.
Boom. Full circle. See that? That's a pro right there.
Get bodied. Yeah. So that's all I got. Gabe, take us home.
Just a fantastic get together that we had tonight between the DFF and the UTH and the FP and the fantasy community. It's lovely. I love the 2019 or just the off season in general, but the 2019 one is the one that we have at this juncture. Yeah.
Real quick. We can no longer call it the off season. It now has to always be referred to
the season.
Shout out to Russ.
Okay.
No, remember Dynasty Outhouse.
Yep. Say it.
The 9-point scoring season is what this is called. What up,
Russ? Well, you score points with us, Russ, in this season, pal.
Thanks for the order, Jerry.
Old pal.
Oh yeah.
All right. This was good, great, grand, wonderful. No yelling on the bus. That's a Adam Sandler, Billy Madison reference. Since J. Mike didn't get to it, Billy Madison's my 101 for Adam Sandler movies. But more on that later. More on that next week when we'll be here at 9:30 Eastern on a Tuesday, because we have a show, right, J. Mike? We have guests. We have guests, right?
Already lined up, and it's
is this our
yet again?
Did our EP line this one up? I don't want to spoil things, but
did they show up a week early? That's all I want to
know. We'll see you next week, J-Mac.
Yeah, this is partially of the EP's doing. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if you know who that guy is, then you might know what's in store for us next week. J-Mike, quick shout out, and this is a me thing, just real quick, a me thing, J-Mike. Is that cool?
Do you, boo-boo? Do you?
All right. I have to shout out some people because they are taking care of me for my I don't know, fantasy football podcast, musical talents, whatever those are, and helping them get an intro with a hip hop vibe.
Tell me what you see.
Tell me what you see.
I heard the new Goat Cast intro last week from Gabe, and it was the truth. It was the truth.
Hey,
that's the truth.
And I always be trading. Don't try to betray him, because first you gotta bait him. It's true. I mean, that's a bar.
It was hot fire. So show up for the hot fire intro. Stick around for the quality Dynasty content.
So shout out to Tyler, Sam. I there was someone, Hans and Franz, that got me, and I don't know who that is, but thank you, Chris from the manual, Addison, Jake. Anyone that I made an intro for. Thank you, just thank you. All of you. I appreciate you and I love you, and I'm happy that I'm a part of your podcast. That's all I have to say. J Mike, let's put some drinks in the put them up to the old little camera here. Jerry, J Mac, are you guys gonna do okay? Well,
I already drank mine.
I got my water.
Womp 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 womp.
Oh jeez. Oh, well,
Gary, I can't.
Amateurs.
Gary,
better luck next week.
More podcast.
Better luck next week. We will see y'all next week. Shout out to the FP crew, Fake Pigskin. Tuesday, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see y'all. And deuces.